Alright, and we're back at the Forex Gemini blog. Now today what we're going to be talking about is a recap of the Australian dollar Japanese yen trade that we have been looking at and watching unfold as the days progress in this trading week. So first of all, I'd like to tell everyone that my focus from the US dollar this week has not been there because of the bailout that occurred from the US government on the AIG insurance company. Now what this is going to do is take a large surplus of the money out of the US government, which is going to A, cause an unstable dollar, or 2, cause drastic moves in the market which are unexplainable. So I am focusing currently on this Australian Japanese yen and other crosses that do not contain the US dollar base. So we're back with this on the 1 hour chart, the Australian dollar Japanese yen. Now, when we were at this yesterday where we left off, we were talking that we were in two positions here. We were possibly trading north and we were possibly trading south. And as you can see, if you remember, is the blue lines are the Fibonacci sequence zones going for the move north, and the red lines are the Fibonacci sequence numbers going for the move down. So let's just take a look back on the 4 hour chart to verify that for you all. So here is the move down, and here is the move up. So we're going to hop back to the 1 hour chart. And what we were talking about yesterday was an interesting thing. We were about at the point here, I believe, in the trading. And what we were saying is that we weren't sure what was happening here. You know, the market had moved south, taken out a 610, and began retracing. And what we saw here was possibly a move north. And why we did that is because we saw the respect of the Fibonacci zones possibly in here. But remember, one of the very first things that we taught in this whole sequence was that we first wait for the very first move to retrace, never trade that until it takes out a 61.8 expansion, which as you can see here, this currency never did. So jumping the gun and getting ahead of myself here, okay, when I gave out the trade call, was it 2-3 videos ago, you know, it could have bit you in the ass here because it did go get with you 70 pips. You were 70 pips in profit at one point on that entry north, okay? And then ultimately it came up against you. Now what we recapped yesterday was that what was going to happen in the current situation that we were around here. And what I said is that from this move up, if we break the 89 with price action, that we are going to verify that this currency is still in a downtrend to the 987. And that this whole move in here was false, and that the market lied to us. But really, the market didn't lie to us because this first initial move never went up above to a 61.8. So realistically, we should have never even been looking at these, but we always like to trap the market just so we are ready. And with trapping the market, we find perfect points of spills in the market. So what we had actually was price action, as you can see in the 1 hour chart, move below the 89 fib sequence number, which is right here in your chart. We're going 0, 89, 144, 233. Now what we are saying is that price action below the 89 nullified this whole entire move in here of any move north that we've suspected was going to occur. So that was false, the move north, and what we should have and are is trading south on this currency. So one little quick back jump to the 4 hour chart so we can show you the move south. Now ultimately this currency is chasing this 987 Fibonacci sequence from the move up top. So where we have entered this exactly. Now this is going to be a little bit new theory that I'm going to show. So what I'm going to say is that at this point I can see that the market has come and made a low below the first point. So the market didn't turn here and take out the 61.8 expansion, as you can see, so I'll put that up there. Okay, no 618 respect. The market never made it a high above this area. So here when we turn down here, now what I want to do on this 1 hour chart here, since I'm going to use price action to verify an entry if this gets below the 89. Now what I mean by price action is how price is reacting on this chart around the fib expansions and the fib retracements. So what we're saying is that if we can prove in here respect of fibs, retracements, expansions, that ultimately we're going down to the 987 target, which is sitting down here. Okay, so what we want to look at is this little movement right in this chart right here. This little guy right here could be telling the story for this whole move down to the 987. So we throw that up there. And what do we see here is we see that this 61.8 is holding the market and turning it. Now the market came here to the 610 and tapped it and took a move down. So what are we looking for here? Okay, so what we are looking for here is our first move. Is this first move going to respect 1 to 61.8 or 2 a 100% expansion before retracing? So then we can shoot our new retracements and bing bada boom, enter on all three of those fib retracements for the 987. So what we're going to do is, since we have respect here, is we're going to place those expansions. And when we place those expansions, what do you think that we are going to see? I bet we're going to see respect of an expansion. Now we can see that we have respect of the 61.8 expansion, which came down pretty, let me see if I have something. Those are my... Okay, so what we can see is that the market barely misses the 100% expansion and then begins to retrace. So we've taken out the 61.8. We've just missed by 5 pips. 5 pips, we've just missed this 100%. So I am calling that a hit. 5 pips, people. We can't make the market move exactly to a 5 pip area. What we're saying is that visually we can see that something turned this market here, and within 5 pips was at 100%. So for me, since I've seen this so many damn times, that's a hit of the 100%. And this is where I'm starting to get interested in this currency. So what I'm going to do is take off this shit right here. Okay. Now what we're going to do is put in our new retracements, and bada bing bada boom, we have every entry we want for this currency. Okay, so what the hell do we have happen right here? We have this thing turn, retrace, and now I'm entering at 382, 50, and 61.8 retracements. If the market turns and goes up to every single one, including a 61.8, I'm a happy man because I'm getting 1, 2, 3 entries, ultimately targeting below 300 pips to the 987 Fibonacci zone. So as you can see here, I did not use the ultimate oscillator to verify anything, because yesterday what I said is that if we get a break below the 89, we're going to have to use price action to determine an entry and not the awesome oscillator. Now what price action did I use to verify this break below the 89? If you didn't catch on the first time, I'm going to go through it one more time and then we're going to wrap up this great video. So what we have here is we say that we have this little move north happening. Now the market failed at any point to make a high above the initial high. So we can already verify that no expansion has been respected and caused a retracement. So we know that this move is going to be turning south. So what we want to do is now focus on the little move south, because price action is going to determine our entry. So from the top to the bottom, we have respect of the fibs. We have respect of the 61.8 fib. Now what we want to do is see, is price action going to take this currency to an expansion? Okay, and what we can see here is that we hit the 61.8, the market's still a moving, and we go and miss by just 5, 4, whatever pips it is, the 100% expansion. For me, since I've been doing this for a while, that's a hit. So now what I'm interested is, after the hit of this 100% expansion, will this market retrace? And if this market retraces, then I'm getting in on every single retracement after that. So we want to see if there's any respect. Grab the top, we grab the bottom, and as we said, we were entering on the 382, and if we had the market climb and retrace further to the 5618, those were all entries. Okay, and now as you can see here, the 382, when I took my initial entry on the initial tap, bada bing bada boom, we're sitting at about 150, 160, 170. I mean, it made a low of 200 pips in profit, people, and ultimately where are we going? To the 987. So I'm going to wrap up this beautiful video and hope that this brought some insight into your price action and into the trading entries and exits of the Forex Gemini method. With that, I would like to wish you all a happy trading week and many pips.